Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, April 12th, 2025. For me, another day of learning and growing. Hope that you, family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe and feeling somewhat better this morning. The pain in my right leg isn't as intense. However, I will be in the next few weeks going to get an X-ray, see what potentially could be going on. This pain has been lasting for about a week now. And, as frustrating as it is, I'm grateful that I have health insurance and that I have met my deductible for the year. So 90% of my medical expenses are going to be covered by my insurance, which will make it a little bit easier to be able to afford whatever procedures or anything, hospital visits that I have, doctor's visits I have for the rest of the year. We still got a lot of year left. So, I was thinking over the past few days, I've been budgeting now since May of 2021. And one of the things that stick out to me is the long journey, in some cases, in my case, of paying off a considerable amount of debt. If you hadn't watched my previous videos, I identified back in June 2020 that I had $115,041.89 of just consumer debt, non-mortgage debt. At the time, I didn't even have a mortgage, so that was my only debt. A lot of that debt was and still is my student loan debt, but I'm down to as of the end of last month, my debt was $41,723.93. It's a little bit lower now because I paid my student loan payment just a few days ago, 2 days ago. But the journey has been long, relatively. Everybody's journey is going to look a little bit different. Some people, it'll take a few months to pay off the debt. Some people, it'll take a few years. In my case, it's taking years to pay it off, and that's okay. Everybody's situation is different. So I make less than six figures. I have a chronic illness, lupus in my case. I am a homeowner now, so a considerable amount of my income is going to my home payment, even though I keep it at around 35% of my gross income per month coming in to pay my mortgage. It's still a lot. And, if I had that money to apply to my debt, then of course it would be a lot easier. But, the one thing I keep in mind is, why did I even begin this journey of paying off this amount of debt and then start sharing it? It's really just to, for one thing, is to make better decisions financially, and to consider that, I want to retire in 18 to 20 years. So I need to put myself in a position that I am debt free. I have enough savings in place that, not knowing what Social Security is going to be looking like, hopefully my pension will be good, and my 401k and my health will be good. I just want to be prepared. There's nothing in life that's guaranteed, but I just want to make all of the right decisions. I want to make more right decisions than wrong decisions. So, looking beyond the numbers, let's say I were married, I had kids. These are things that I would want to instill in my family and teach my kids how to, if I had kids, teach my kids how to be responsible financially, and even beyond that, just to be responsible and to be kind and to help others. One of the things I remember growing up is that I've always had empathy, and I'm not going to say exactly the things that I've done. I've helped where I could, and I'll continue to do so. And it's just something that, you know, I wish, I was about to say, wish more people do. I'm sure there are a lot of people that do this. I just wish it was more put out there in the mainstream as, you know, being kind, being generous, and, you know, trying to be there for others. So, you know, for me, yes, budgeting is a big part of my life, and paying off consumer debt is a big part of my life. Paying off debt, and you know, because I want to pay off my house prior to retirement. But it's not only about that. It's not about seeing, you know, my debt go down. I mean, that's good, but for me, it's not like a euphoric state that I'm in each time I see me crossing milestones, you know, from 110,000 to 100,000 to 90,000, 80,000, 70,000, 60,000. I've been through that, and I'm about to cross, you know, 40,000. About to be under 40,000 at not at the end of this month, but by next month. But it's about knowing that I'm doing the right things. I'm taking the necessary steps and learning almost every day how to, you know, get better at not only my finances, but now cooking. I am spending more time in the kitchen, getting better at cooking for the most part. Excuse me. For the most part, I've been just kind of rotating the same dishes. But, you know, actually, what's helped me is using Microsoft Copilot, asking for variations on certain ingredients in that AI program, and it'll tell you what ingredients are, it'll tell you how long to cook it, and you know how long the prep time is. So it's and all that will help me cut back on my spending, even though I don't eat out a lot. I would say, you know, just kind of give you an idea. Last month, I may have eaten out twice, and that's just how it is. I don't do DoorDash. I do get groceries, and now I switched. Kind of an aside, I switched from using Kleenex often to handkerchiefs. Another way to save money. So, you know, I do look for ways to save money. And of course, you know, a big part of my channel is called Not on My Budget. So, of course, you know, I'm going to talk more about finances than anything. But, you know, I have a life outside of money. Barely a life outside of money, because I rarely get out and do anything. Keep to myself a lot. I am a introvert that can pretend to be an extrovert. I always have to constantly think, like, okay, so I need to break out of this this box that I put myself in, and to do more, but I'm not even sure necessarily how to take the next step to do that. And you know, when I'm dealing with pain like I have been, it makes it easier just to say, I'm going to stay in. I want to be with myself and not complaining to others about what I'm going through physically, mentally, emotionally. It's just easier. So, not entirely sure what the purpose of this video is, but I wanted to jump on and just talk about the fact that it's more than just numbers. It's not only about that. This is how, you know, the times we live in, this is how we deal with things. You know, I'm a big fan of Star Trek, and I don't think they deal with money. You know, I would love to get to times like that. It won't happen in my lifetime, but maybe in a distant future, people won't have to use money to be able to get by. But that's neither here nor there. On a positive note, I've made a lot of progress. I've paid off over $73,000 worth of of consumer debt. And even though, I'm dealing with some stress, I think too, part of that too is the economy. And I've tried not to look at my 401k, but it has taken a substantial hit, and so that's a bit stressful, a bit frustrating, and trying to think of ways to make up for that hit. Doing the best I can to deal with the impact of that. I'm not going to go into politics on my channel. That's not my bag. There are a lot of political channels out there. If you want to watch those, you can. I just want to right now share my journey with paying off consumer debt. So anyway, this is a video that's going on too long. It's just been kind of rambling. If you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You don't want to post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@NotInMyBudget. As always, thank you for watching. You all take care.